It was Christmas Eve, and God looked down over all of his children. It had been over 2,000 years since the birth of his son. Turning to one of his youngest angels, he said, "Go down to the earth and find me the one thing that best represents all of this." Bowing to his Lord, the angel spread his wings and descended from heaven to the world of man, all the while contemplating the magnitude of this mission. How could he possibly find one thing that would represent all of this? And then this happened. In an old city bar that's never too far from the places that gather the dreams that have been, in the safety of night and its old neon lights, beckons to strangers and they always come in. And the snow, it was falling, neon was calling, the music was low, and the night, Christmas Eve, where here lies the danger, even with strangers, this night of all night, it's much easier to believe. Well, the door opened wide, and a child came inside that no one in the bar had seen there before. And he said, "Did you know that outside in the snow was a stranger that's lost, standing outside your door?" Well, the bartender gazed through the smoke and the haze, through the window and ice, to a corner street light, where standing alone by a broken payphone was a girl, the child said, couldn't find her way home. And the snow, it was falling, neon was calling. The bartender turned and said, "Not that I care, but how do you know this?" Child said, "I know this. If one could be home, they'd be already there." Well, the bartender came out from behind the bar, and in all of his life he was never that far. Then he did something else that he thought no one saw, when he took all the cash from the register drawer, and he followed the child to the girl across the street. And we watched from the bar as they started to speak, and he called for a cab, and he said, "JFK." Put the girl in the cab, and the cab drove away, and we saw in his hands that the cash was all gone from the light that she wished upon. If you want to arrange it, this world you can change it, if only somehow to make this Christmas thing last, like helping a neighbor or even a stranger to know who needs help. One needs only just ask. Well, he looked for the child, but the child wasn't there. Just the wind and the snow waltzing dreams through the air. And he's back inside, somehow different, I think. For the rest of the night, no one paid for a drink. Now the cynics will say that some neighborhood kid wandered in on some drunks in the world where they live, but they couldn't tell and they couldn't see from that old neon light on that night, Christmas Eve. In the snow it was falling, neon was calling. In case you should wonder, in case you should care, we're on our own. We never went home on this night of all night. We were already there. Later that night, the angel returned to heaven and placed in his Lord's hands that which he had searched for on this Christmas Eve, the wish of a soul for the happiness of another. As the heavenly host looked on, the Lord smiled. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.